Hi Mark, I'm Mark, and my Chinese name is Zhou Yuwei, and my student number is S05410441.
Hi Mark, I'm Sherry from Yishan. My student number is 17.
Hi Mark, I'm Winnie. Chen Huichen, my student number is SO441121.
Hi, Mom. I'm Phil Lin Jiaqi. My student number is 45.
Okay, today we are going to talk about sex offender, the video you showed us, and well, I want to ask, well, do you think that the Megan law is way too strict? To me, I think it's too strict and not so rational. I think some of them are. You just don't know why, and you think it's too strict. Like the Amy, she can't call her children, and for me, I need some reasons for that law. Yeah.
So you think the law is not reasonable?
Yeah,
Oh.
not reasonable.
How about you?
I think it's really way too strict. Living a life like that for me is very inhuman.
Mm-hmm.
I think I would rather be shot than being a person that can't get other people's forgiving.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. How about you, Winnie?
I think it's strict too, because when I watch this movie, I think some people is really a good person, and they think they do the wrong thing, and they wish people to forgive them, and but this is too strict to them.
Yeah.
And for me, I think, although it is strict,
Yeah.
I also think it is strict, but I can understand why this law could be so strict, because they try to protect those innocent people.
Yeah.
Although it is so strict, but it can really do some actually protection to those innocent people, because they can live nearby them.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, so they has not much lower possibility to commit a crime,
Yeah.
and so I can understand why it can be so strict.
Mm.
So I agree this law, although I think it is strict. I still think it is. I will agree it.
Oh.
I mean, just like China have 1.3 billion population, so their law, their act will be more extreme, like that.
Yes, although it is kind of not to be human, less humanity, but
Yeah.
it is only way to protect them.
Maybe.
Because
Yeah.
if you have so many people, how to regulate them, how to rule them, so you need to control them.
The most convenient and effective way.
Yes.
Oh.
Yes.
So you think the punishment is a good way to prevent or control the crime?
Yes, although the study shows that these actions did not lower the crime rate, but I still think if you set the serious punishment, it can scare people not to commit a crime.
Yeah.
Oh.
And how about you?
I think it's really tough to them.
Mhm.
No, because if they do this to them, but some people don't care about it. They still want to be sex to they want, and then be a sex offender. So I think they can really make these people scared about it.
Oh.
Oh. it's not a good way, really,
Mm.
because you want people to be put into a space
Mhm.
where you can control them, but everybody don't want that place to be near to their house, so you can't find any place to put them to that place.
Mm.
And I think the punishment can't fix the real problem,
Mm.
because the real problem is often something you need to deal with, like their mental problems or other problems.
Yeah. I think that their act cannot reach their goal. They want them to back to society to connect with people, but I think they just put them into another jail. That for me is the bad act.
Yes, I also think that, so I would rather be shot. And the next question is, are those criminals or sex offenders worth to be forgiven? What do you think, Winnie?
I think they should be forgiven because you know Amy. I watched her and I think she's a kind person, and when some people invite visit her, she do her best to take care of this person, and it's really kind of her, and she really thinks she did wrong to these things, and she hope that she have a chance to see her children and watch his picture, and I think we should forgive this sex offender.
Yes, and what about you, Theo?
I think a sex offender should not be forgiven, because if you let people know, once you commit a sex crime, you will not be forgiven anymore or forever, and those people are warned. Those people will know that if you commit a sex offender, if you become a sex offender, you will not be forgiven anymore, forever, and you will be scared. You will do anything to prevent this thing happen. Although even you get drunk or you don't know what you are thinking about, but you will control your behavior. You are not doing something wrong, because once you do that, you cannot be forgiven anymore. So I think it is sounds like scared, but I think it is a effective way to prevent this kind of things happen.
Oh. And what about you, Mark?
I think everyone is forgivable, so I think sex offender too. But there should be some ways to forgive them, and that's, I think we haven't do this part enough. How to forgive them, and what we should give them, and what they should be going through to let us forgive them. I think this is what we need to do more about.
Yes, that's true. And for me, I think it's really hard for me to say whether I would forgive them or not, because if you put yourself into the situation, those victims of those victims, you would feel that this harm they done to you is how to say, is not forgivable. Yes, and you can never forget this harm in your whole life. So it's really unforgettable thing to happen happen to a person, I think. Yes. So I don't know whether I would forgive them or not.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
And the next
Yes.
question.
Okay. Arnold, my question is, do you have sympathy or compassion for them after watching this video? How do you feel?
You mean those sex offender? No, because I think they deserve it. If you do not want to be controlled, you just not to commit a crime, or you just not to prevent yourself to become a sex offender. I don't think it is hard to control yourself, right? I know some people may have some mental issues or some illness, so they can control themselves to do something wrong. So I would suggest him just go to hospital. Maybe if he knows he can control himself, maybe he should try to get some help, ask for help. Maybe go to hospital, maybe go to see psychiatry. Yes, psychiatric doctor, right? To ask for help, not just say I just can't control myself. That is an excuse to that yourself to not be punished. But you just did those things. You did something wrong. It's true. So if you say you have problems, and just go to ask for help, try to find somebody to help you. Not just say something, oh, I can control myself, because that sounds like an excuse. Yeah.
Yes. And how about you, Mark?
I think we should have compassion for them, and I think everything has a reason. So it may be some experience from when they are children, or like you see a baby, you can't imagine that baby will be a sex offender in the future. So what I mean is everyone is the same from they are very small, they are very young. So why they become sex offender? Why they did something wrong? And I think there's a reason to find out. So I will have compassion for them. Yeah.
Yes. And as for me, I think before I watch this documentary, I absolutely don't have any compassion for them, because I think just like Phil said, they deserve it. But after watching this documentary, I think like Mark said, everything has its reason. How did they become a person like that? Maybe just like one of the sex offender in the video, he was beaten by his father when he was young. Yes, and I think maybe we should find the original problem, the originate, how to say, the
Reason.
yes, the reason for them to do something wrong. Yes, to prevent those sex offender from doing that again. Yes, so I have compassion for them. Yes.
Okay.
And how about you?
I don't think we need to have compassion with them, because why don't you control yourself? Because I control myself, and yes, lots of people control themselves. And why don't you first As some people will harm from you, do they forgive you or not? Do they have compassion with you? If that people won't and that you won't, we don't need to have compassion with them because they really deserve it. And but we shall have some chance to let them content with these words and do something to let us forgive them.
Okay.
So I want to ask another question,
Yeah.
another kind of question, become much more easier.
Okay.
If you today, this documentary invite you to become the host,
Yeah.
like Louis Theroux, yes, to do his job, like report and like to interview those sex offenders, like to ask them questions, ask them some embarrassing questions, make situation feel like weird. So would you like to do this kind of job to become the host, Winnie?
I won't, cause for me I'm a female and this society is really cool because female will have some danger more than male because we are not strong enough and also how to say lots of male is aggressive. For me I think lots of male is aggressive. And how about sex offender? They are more aggressive more aggressive than common male. So and this project is not appeal to me, and so I don't want to be the host.
But how if your safety is guaranteed? You're really safe because there are bodyguard behind you.
Yes, and the monitor is monitoring you,
Yeah.
so everything will be monitored.
I will feel a little bit disgusting in that place. You know.
Okay.
How about Sherry?
I think I will if I have this kind of chance because I think this kind of things is it need to be done because few people want to do things like this. So maybe if you have any chance like this, you have to stand out and show the society the different aspects of the sex offender and how they think. And I think this documentary is very meaningful in some kind of aspect. Yes, I think. And how about you, Mark?
I have the same opinion with Sherry. I think this document is very valuable and it shows us many aspects that we cannot imagine easily. Yeah. So so I think this work need to be done. But for me, I wouldn't like to do this job or work. Maybe I would like to be the photographer, but I won't be the one asking questions. Yeah.
Why not?
Because that is a lot of pressure to me. To expect that what will the one you ask react. Yeah.
And I think they also need to be trained how to interview other people.
Yeah.
Those techniques or
Deal
something.
with the emotions and
Yes.
wording or something.
Yes,
I see.
some interviewing skills.
Yeah.
Yes.
For me, I would like to do this kind of job because I think it is fresh.
Yeah.
You haven't done. I mean, you haven't done this before.
Yeah.
It can be a fresh notion, and when you will keep in touch with them, you will find why they will commit this kind of crime. You can find the reason why they will do these kind of things, because a lot of people, a lot of innocent people, they cannot figure out why these guys would like to do these kind of bad things. They just don't understand, and you can really understand what they are really thinking through this kind of interviewing, and I think it will be a hard job, because you need to think some questions, and these questions needs to be it has to, you need to become much more brave. You just can't ask them, because if you are a coward, you are scared, you cannot ask them, right? So you have some courage, you just can ask them. Also, it can cultivate your courage. It can make you become much more brave.
Oh.
Yeah.
So it's much like an adventure or a challenge for you.
Maybe a challenge, a new one, a new challenge.
Oh, well,
So you take it like a very interesting research, or
I think it's interesting because you haven't done this before, so
Oh.
it's fresh, you know.
so your attitude towards the research will be very
I'll become
interested
curious.
or
Yeah,
curious.
curiosity and interesting,
Oh.
both. Yeah.
Oh.
Okay.
Will you think it's your honor to do this?
Honor, I don't think it is kind of honor. I think it is kind of a curiosity research.
Yeah.
Oh. But I think it still needs a very serious attitude. Yes.
Yes,
Although
my
you
attitude.
think it's very interesting, but you have to be serious.
Yes, I think
Yes.
when I ask them, I will become serious.
Oh.
But I will, when I know their reasons why they are doing like this, I think it will be interesting.
Yeah.
Oh. I see.
Okay.
You'll be serious about the work. Yeah.
Mm.
Yes, but curious about their motivation.
Yes.
Oh. And the next question I have for you is, if you were that guy who had problem not showing his private parts to those females around him, would you choose to cut off your body parts? Would you do that, Mark?
Well, let's suppose the man is reasonable. He's rational. So
Yes.
all his thinking is considerated by him, by himself, and by many years experiment on himself, right? The observations. So if I him, let's be reasonable. I will cut my private parts just like him, right?
Good.
Yeah, right. Because that is the only way. due to him, right? So yeah.
So you
But
would choose
Good.
emotionally, I feel that's really sad, and
Yes.
I don't
Yeah.
let it go. I don't want to let it go, right? Yeah.
Yes.
I think everybody is, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's a very sad thing, and I think it's also a very big decision, because it's not reversible. Is there any word like that? I mean, you can't put it back
Yeah.
after you cut off your body parts.
Yeah.
So it's a very big decision. But I think in the video he say that he also being to say.
Mm.
He was taking some drugs, like the drugs can control his reaction.
Hormone.
Yes.
Horrible.
Yes, and those drugs are not working for him. So maybe I would choose to cut off my body if I don't have other,
Options. Or,
yes, I don't have any other choice.
yeah.
Yes.
Good
How
choice.
about you? If for me, I think it's a psychology problem because I think it's just ill. It's not your how's that penis problem. It's your
Brain
psychology
point.
Mental.
mental problem. Yeah.
Yes.
Because I think if I must find a mental doctor first, and then if the mental doctor can fix me, and the only choice is to cut off my parts.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mm.
And it's my choice.
Mm.
Oh. And how about you?
I think I will go to see the doctor first,
Mm.
and I would not like to cut it off because I think will be very hurt. So yeah,
But you will be like paralyzed
Yeah,
before you
can-
cut off your
Yes.
body part.
I mean I know, but after the surgery, you still will
Oh.
feel hurt.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, and for maybe several months.
Yes.
So I will go to see the doctor first, and I will try everything to control myself, to
Oh.
control my action. Maybe lock down to your own room,
Oh.
or to go to ask others for help. Maybe go to see the doctor and maybe ask hospital to keep me in a room
Mm.
and not to let me out. Yes, and I can do whatever I want in the room, and it can prevent I show my private part to others.
But if you
You can control
You are-
yourself.
Yeah, you just can't control yourself.
yes,
You can
and
control yourself.
if
But-
you are locked in a hospital, when you see the nurse, you still show your
Ah.
private
Yes, you
part.
show.
Yes, I mean, if I can not control myself, but I can let other people to control myself.
Oh.
How
Just watch me and control, maybe lock me to a room and don't let other people to walk in my room.
Oh.
Or only the man, only a male nurse can walk in my room.
Mm.
Oh.
Really? But do you really want to have a life like that
Yeah.
till you are dead?
Maybe someday I will just,
Recover?
yeah, I mean,
Oh.
if you have a long time, you can see the female, or you can see the women
Mm.
in your real life. Maybe you will recover.
Mm.
Really?
Oh,
You are-
really?
Your this kind of mind will disappear. I
Oh,
guess.
I think that man will be bigger.
Yes. I don't think so. I think after you go out, you will be ooh.
Oh, you are
Maybe
so
So fresh. So fresh.
It's kind of addiction, right? So you need to quit it.
Oh.
It's kind of addiction, like drug addiction.
Yeah.
When you have a long time you did not take the drugs, you will feel uncomfortable and you will feel very tough or very strained and very miserable. But it's the addiction. You need to quit it. Just
Oh.
like you want to show your private part to those women. It's kind of addiction, I think.
But I want to ask, what will you do in that room? Will you carry your computer
Yeah, I
or
mean,
with internet? With
I can-
internet?
yeah, maybe I can do something like reading or playing computer games or playing guitar, something that can relax yourself.
But
Oh.
you can control yourself. You will use internet to search for
Oh.
those materials.
Yes.
Yes.
I remember the man said he just only want to show his private part to the real to the women who in real life.
Oh
Yeah, I remember he said that
To
kind.
get their attention.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. So if you search the internet, you cannot get those pictures attention.
Mm,
Right.
You still can. You can use webcam.
Yes. You can use the camera.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's kind of addiction. You need to quit it. So you need to quit it. You know, you need to quit.
I think
Quit.
there are still a difference between using drug and showing your private parts,
Yes.
because the drug is like a outer thing, but showing your private parts is
It's a
a
mental.
yes inner problem,
Mm.
not a outer problem.
Yes, but when you use drugs, you will become wants to use them.
Yeah.
So it will become another mental problem
Hmm.
because your brain will
Makes sense.
convince you to take it,
Oh.
and it will let you make, it will let you become comfortable.
Oh.
Right.
Okay. And the next problem is related to the last problem. What if you cut off your private part and you find out that it
Mm.
still doesn't work? What will you do?
Me?
Yes, Mark, what will you do?
Well, just take the chance and become a female. Go to plants
Oh.
to
So you will
To
do a surgery to
Yeah.
become a female?
you just become female, right? because you don't have the organ to produce the male hormone. So now you are no sex, right? You are no sex. So why don't you just become a female or
Oh.
Right.
No.
Yeah.
So you would choose to be a female. That's a really good choice because
What?
after you become a female, you
What?
can just touch other female.
no? What are you thinking? No.
Yes. I think for me, I am much how to say that pessimistic. I think if
Pathetic.
oh no,
Huh?
I mean
Oh yeah.
passive.
Yeah, I mean.
What are you
Yeah, no.
Yeah, pathetic is a different meaning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, and I am more passive in that way. I think if it still doesn't work, I would rather commit suicide. Yes, to kill myself because after I cut off my body parts, I am not a complete human anymore. So maybe I would rather commit suicide. Yes,
Yeah.
but it's not a good thing to do. But living a miserable life like that for me is worse than being dead. Yes. And what about you, Winnie?
I'm same with you. I really agree with you because if I can be a common person, I just want to commit suicide. Because if I suicide, if you can wish you have a more new life when you return to the heaven.
You are a Christian?
No. You just because for me, if I can live happy and live like common people to surf the net or play something, and I can't control myself to commit such sex offender things. This really pessimistic to me. So suicide is the best choice to me.
For me, maybe I will do what like Mark to do. I will choose to become a woman because first I cannot to bother other women anymore, and I don't need to consider if I will keep showing my private part to others
Mm.
because I don't have the private part.
You have.
I mean, when I transform a woman.
Oh.
Oh.
But you have woman's private.
Yes. you have
Yes,
one
but
part.
so if I will show my private part to women or men when I become a woman.
So
I mean,
you
so-
will still be a sex offender.
I mean, when I
That's
become
another
a
sex,
woman.
right?
Another sex offender.
When I become a woman, so I think if you are a woman and you go on a street, when you show your private part to other women or other men, maybe other women will think you are nuts, and other men will become
Since
Sex
you
offender.
are attractive.
yeah, and they will become sex offender, not me. You know?
Oh,
When I show my
you
private
just
part,
take advantage on the
I mean, it's
But
it's a common thing, right? When you show your private part to women, they will think you are nuts. When you show your private part to men, they will become sex offenders or not.
Okay.
But you first induce them.
Yeah.
You show your private
But
part.
I can
to
control
them.
myself, you know? You say that, I can control myself.
So you mean after you transform yourself into a woman, you can control yourself, then you were a man? That's what you mean?
Yeah, I think if I transform a woman, I think I can control myself. Because it is really to sound like a woman become a woman will show his private part to others, you know. It's less happen in the society. Most people will happen these things is male. Female would less possibility to do these kind of things.
Really?
Yes.
So you think the situation will be more advantageous, right?
I mean the
Compared
situation,
to being a man
Yes.
sex offender.
because yes.
Oh.
Oh.
But I have another question.
Yeah.
If Mark, you take the surgery and become a woman,
Yeah.
but if the surgery is not very successful, you become a woman that is not like a woman.
Half
What?
woman, half man.
Half woman and half man. And
Oh.
woman hates you and man also hates you.
No, but I have confidence on with my face. Okay?
Oh. Okay.
So if the part isn't so successful, I still have a face.
Oh, I mean, woman face. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Maybe.
So the next question is,
Oh, my question is, will you be companion with sex offender?
Be a companion.
Yes. Be
with
a
them.
friend with them.
I don't think I will be a friend with them because once I know he has the record, this kind of record, you will have you will guard him, you know.
worry about.
Yeah, you will worry about, and you cannot open to your mind to him or her. You just feel maybe he's hide something, and you will think maybe someday, maybe sometimes, maybe he will do it again to you or to others, and that make you so embarrassed because you cannot. If you choose to be a friend like him, how would you going to talk to him? You will say, oh, just don't be like that. He may be say, I cannot control myself. So why would you do like this? So at the first, you choose not to be a friend with him. I think it is the best way to let yourself not to get in trouble. Yes, it is the best way.
But how if they just act like normal person? But they have a record, and you happen to know the record, but they just like normal people. You know?
Yes, but I will still think I will not to be friends with him because I can choose other kinds
Yeah.
of people to make friends. Why would you? Why you want to choose him? You have a lot of people to choose. Why you choose him?
But if she or he is your crush,
Maybe you should crush on another one.
okay.
Yes, because once you know he has this kind of record, I don't think you will crush on him again anymore.
No, I mean it was your crush, and happen you know that
Wow.
she was a sex offender,
So
so the image will just break down immediately, or
yeah,
you will try to make a balance.
no, I don't think I will make a balance. I just
Just
So-
quit.
Maybe
Yes.
you would say, sex offend me.
Okay, if you and her have love lots of year, would you broke with her? If she is sex offender,
you mean if she is my girlfriend
yes,
and one day I found out
yes, she is sex offender.
I will break. Yes, I will break with her.
Oh really?
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 Yes, because she is hurting some people, somebody. She hurts other people, but I don't. You know, I can live with this kind of people.
Yeah.
She's hurt somebody. Maybe someday she will hurt me. Maybe,
Mm.
perhaps.
Maybe
But
she can hurt you.
Yeah, maybe she will hurt me
Mm.
because she will hurt others. Why not? She will not hurt me.
She is your girlfriend, so she can sex offender you.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, so yes, if she sex offended me, she will be crying and she is hurt me and she hurts
Okay.
me. So why not? I would not like break with her. You know,
Okay.
it is very reasonable to break up with her.
No, I don't think reasonable.
Why?
Oh.
Like you are dating for several years, and you just feel she is right, she is fine, and you just only because you see the record one day, and you just break up with her. This is not reasonable to me.
yes, and maybe you are having very good sexual relationship
Yeah.
with her, and you don't think that's sex. You are being sex offended.
For years, for years, for a long time, okay, and you still want to break up with her.
You can try another people. You can try another one.
Try to sex with another
So you
people.
just have bias on the sex offender label,
Oh, okay.
just the label,
okay.
right?
Alright.
You cannot choose her. There are a lot of people you
So,
can choose.
Let me make an example. Someone bullied others when she or he was a child and bully very hard, like beating others. Will you become like you, like your girlfriend was a bully, and you found out that by others tell you, and will you be her boyfriend still? Bully is another bad thing, right?
Yes.
Hurting others, and the memory will carry them forever, right?
Yeah. I mean, I think I will break up with her because
Really?
because once she has this kind of record, that means it has a possibility to hurt you, right? Because she bullied others when she was small, when she was little.
Yeah.
So maybe she grew up, she will bully others too.
Yeah.
It has this kind of possibility. So why would you risk to still live together with her?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So
It has this kind of possibility. Why don't you protect yourself well? Why don't you set yourself risk? Why you want to risk yourself to be with her?
Yeah. But I think life is a risk. You don't know many things until you know it. You know.
Yeah, so
Mm.
once you know it, you should not to do it again.
okay.
right?
And
No, I don't think.
Rita.
so her love for you isn't worth your forgiving. I mean, she loves you very much.
And you love
And,
her so very
Maybe
much.
she bully other people right now. I mean, still now. When she was little, and
Oh,
when she
Okay.
grew up, she still bully other
Okay.
people.
Okay.
Right.
Can you bear it? No, I don't think you
so
can.
once
I
you
can do
find out what she done in the past, you won't forgive her anymore. That's what you mean.
It depends what kind of things. It depends how serious.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah, it depends how serious.
Okay.
Okay.
Then next question is it's
We still. No.
Oh.
okay.
We'll be a friend with
Whose
that
turn?
offense. My turn.
Be friends. I will be their friend because I don't think it's matter, you know.
Oh.
I mean, if they act normal when I am present, I think that's just fine. Okay, just fine. You just don't bother me with your
Okay.
strange actions. Okay.
Maybe someday he will drop you and sex offend you.
Oh my god. Well, let's let they come. I just see. You know, I don't care about the future. You know?
Okay.
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 Mm,
So that's my answer.
okay. And I think my answer is I would be careful about them. Like I would see there any action when they are around me, and I won't go out with them alone. Like maybe to go watching a movie or having some dinner. I won't go out alone with them, but it's okay for me to be friend with them. Yes.
For me, I won't be a friend with them, but I will help them if they have some problems. I will help them to find some correct answer. Yeah. And because I don't want to have adventure to be with them. It just like feels. Why don't you find another good friend? Yeah. And
But what if you see the good side inside them?
because I'm a little bit cold because I'm afraid of they will do something again.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm not like Mark really.
So
Oh,
you won't try to inspire them and lead them to a good way. Or
I will
something like
inspire
that?
them, but I will leave them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And so
So if I'm telling you I was a sex offender, what would you do?
I will ignore you.
Oh, fuck.
Oh!
Sorry.
everybody will leave you.
Oh.
Oh.
So I won't tell you that. Yeah.
So the
Next question.
next question.
Next question.
Good question.
Or